What is up, everybody? It's Cobes here, and today I am back with a Fortnite video. In today's video, it's going to be mostly a rant, but I will bring up a lot of different points. So if you guys want to, leave your constructive criticisms down in the comments section. Not for me, but for Epic Games. Tell me what you think they could do differently, or if you think they are following down the perfect path and they're doing nothing wrong. So as you guys know, Fortnite, they are taking away mats. They're taking away mats at an exponential rate. So at first, you know, we were at 999, 999, 999 max for each of the material, which was fine. You know, it took a lot longer to grind out material. If you were a good player and you wanted to build, you know what you had to do? You had to sit there and mine trees and mine bricks, mine steel, whatever it may be, a lot harder than you did before. Let's say you were spending 2 to 3 minutes mining materials and then you were done for that game. Maybe you had to mine some later in the game after you got into a couple gunfights with people who maybe didn't have many materials. Maybe you had to spend maybe 1 to 2 more minutes to grind out some more materials for late game. But for the most part, if you got into a build battle and you got the kill, you would end up with more materials than you started out with for the most part. But nowadays, if you get into a build battle, typically you're not going to end up with more materials than you started out with, and if you do, you'll probably end up with like max wood, max brick, max metal, or close to it. It seems like there's not much in between. You'll either end up with a lot less or a lot more. But guess what Epic Games is doing? So they nerfed the llamas, they've already nerfed the trees, they've nerfed metal, they nerfed brick, they've nerfed all of that. So let's say you mine out a tree, you get a lot less than you did before this previous update. I don't know exactly when it came out, but I think everyone knows what I'm talking about. I just wanted to explain it to anyone who doesn't. Okay, so let's read about this article, or whatever you want to call it, this post by Fortnite. We are going to continue to make changes to evolve the game to give players multiple ways to counter each other in combat and create more strategies to win the game. So right off the bat, you know, that sounds fine. I have no issues with that. That sounds like a pretty good idea from Epic Games. Do you guys agree with that? Do you want the people to win the game the same way over and over again? Which, again, I don't think is the case. I really don't think it is the case. There are many different ways to win the game, like so many different guns. Sometimes you end off in a build battle, sometimes you end off spraying, like you're both spraying the AR at each other, sometimes you're both trying to snipe each other, sometimes you end up with a grenade launcher and you're spraying that, or an RPG, whatever it may be, but they nerfed those. So yeah, the RPG and grenade launcher gave us less options, but now they're taking away building, so doesn't that give us less options or no? So Fortnite is Fortnite is consistently evolving. Our goal with any change is to keep the game fun and interesting, keeping it feeling fresh and new. It's important to support a variety of late game strategies that don't boil down to just build LOL in quotation marks. We strongly believe that the evolution of Fortnite supports a wide range of playstyles and counterplay. Currently, the superiority of shotguns, rockets, and uncapped building are such a dominant playstyle in the final circle that most other strategies are being drowned out. So, my problem with this is, what are those other strategies? What are the strategies that you would like to see? Because for me, when I get into the late game circle, typically it ends up with us spraying our ARs at each other. We try to get some damage and then maybe we rush in, try to finish off each other with the shotgun. Possibly that's one outcome, but there's so many other outcomes. You know, I think that's what they're talking about. Spraying each other with an AR and then rushing in and shotgunning each other at the end. That's typically what happens. You spray with the AR, someone builds, and then inevitably you guys move in to each other and then kill each other with shotguns. Typically, that's typically how it happens. But I'm really curious what they're wanting. So are they saying just no build at the end? Like not even a 1v1? Like, are they not even condoning that? Are they not even saying that's something you should do? So what, sit behind a tree and then what? Get sprayed down, get the tree sprayed down, and then you don't build? Like, what are they talking about? I'm honestly so confused. I have no idea what they mean by different play styles in this regard. So I get maybe shotguns and rockets are a little bit too dominant, maybe, but are they saying like that the building aspect isn't what it boils down to at the end? Of course it does. It's the building to the high ground, and then let's say you have a sniper or an AR, then you can get better shots on someone. And if they decide to push you, you can spray them down with an AR and then maybe finish them off with AR, or finish them off with maybe an SMG, maybe a shotgun. It doesn't really matter. But recent and upcoming changes, we have made a few changes recently, and we will continue to make more to give you options to counter other players in combat, especially in the late game. We're exploring changes to weapon balance and resource economy, like resource caps. All right, so if you guys didn't know, so resources are going to be put down to 500 across the board. So now you can get a max of 500 wood, 500 brick, 500 metal. So for me, I'll empathize with Epic. I can understand that shotguns and rockets are a little bit too dominant, but you nerf shotguns, you can't do it anymore. You cannot nerf shotguns anymore. It just can't be done. If they nerf shotguns, let's say they take down the damage by another 20, I would almost say that makes shotguns unusable, but people will still use them. People will still use shotguns even if they bring it down to 100. Like let's say they brought it down to 100 for a clean headshot. That just means you're probably gonna have to hit 3-4 body shots instead of doing anything else, or just close range, take out your AR. But you see, one major problem I have with like shotguns not being the dominant thing in this game, well, like if I'm getting into battle and let's say I get the drop on someone, I get a really nice drop on them, I shoot them with the shotgun, now they're down, let's say 80 health, I get a really nice shot, maybe they're down 120. All right, that's realistic for me. Okay, now he has the opportunity to turn around, build, and possibly I won't have the time to finish him off. So in the prior to this like update where shotguns were nerfed, I could have finished him off, gathered his loot, and not taken any damage. But nowadays, when you're getting into fights, it's almost inevitable for you to take damage. It's almost certain that you're gonna take some sort of damage in the gun battle, even if you get the nice drop on someone and you do a lot of damage to them. So if they nerf shotguns, like what? Now are they gone from the game? Shotguns are supposed to be superior. Even if they weren't, they are, and you can't really change it. I'm sorry, you just can't. Unless you severely buff the tactical SMG like a lot more than it already is, which I think it's already like almost too strong. Against a good player, like a tactical SMG, even if you get the kill, is guaranteed damage. With the shotgun, it's not always guaranteed damage. You know, you won't always be guaranteed damage, but against a good player, I would say shotguns, unless you got that one-shot kill or that two-shot kill, you're probably going to take damage against a good player. And now it's like 3, 4, maybe even 5 shots against players for me. And I feel like, you know, I don't hit the perfect shots. Maybe I have to play on PC to do that, but it takes me probably 3 shots on average, 4 shots on average, which is quite a bit. So honestly, what do you guys think they're trying to do? I think there is, I can see a small problem at the end circle. Everyone builds their tower and it's whoever gets the circle wins. That's super annoying to me because I like rushing around, and my play style, I'll be honest, it's not supported by this. It really isn't. Because let's say I try to build up to someone who's 5 high, who has a 5 tall 1x1. Guess what? I get sprayed down and killed. If they're a good player, which most players are at the end circle. Most players who build a 1x1 like 4, maybe 3, 4, 5 tall, it's difficult to get up behind them. It's difficult to actually get up there and kill them. But with the introduction of bounce pads, I feel like it's a little bit easier. So I'm really curious what you guys think. I think rockets being at 12 rockets is a little bit low. I think they could probably turn it up to maybe 18, so I could at least have 3 clips in my grenade launcher, because at this point having 12 rockets, let's say I get into like, I start shooting a grenade launcher at someone, typically I'm shooting 6. If I shoot 6 and it doesn't kill them, maybe I'll shoot 6 more, but I'm not killing someone with the grenade launcher within 2 shots. It's not happening typically. Maybe I'll get lucky, but even if I do get lucky, I'll probably end up shooting like a few extra just because I didn't think I was going to get lucky. But I think rockets, I understand where they're going with that. I think that's not a terrible change. I can completely empathize with that. I can understand that, but the shotguns and everything else, just, I don't know, like building, I can empathize with them in the late game. Like, people just build and build. They just build. It's so annoying. They build a 1x1 and sit up there, and then that forces me to, if I'm realistically wanting a win, it forces me to, and that's kind of annoying. But you know, I like getting into the build battles. See, that's the problem I have with my play style personally. I like getting into the build battles late game. I would rather get into a build battle than having someone sit in a 1x3 base, or you know, 1x1 5 tall base. It's just annoying. But tell me what you guys think about this whole situation. Do you guys think that this is going to kill Fortnite? I don't think it will, but one thing I can say about Epic Games right now, it seems like they're not listening to their fans at all. This is what they're doing. They're implementing changes and they're not listening to anyone. They used to listen to people, but like for taking out different guns, for items people didn't like, but it seems like Fortnite is trying to get this perfect. I don't know when they'll start listening to people again, because it just seems like they're not. But you know, a characteristic for a good leader is to not listen to the people now and foresee the future and make changes regardless of what people are saying, so the future can be better. And once, you know, let's say maybe 6 months from now, maybe we'll all be praising Epic Games for doing a great job and for changing up changing up the play style now to make it better. That's what a great leader does. That's what a great leader will do. Hopefully Epic Games is doing that. Maybe I'm just being too short-sighted. I can definitely see myself doing that. So I'm honestly excited for the change. We'll have to wait and see. I can't wait to see what's gonna happen, guys, honestly. So guys, remember, great leaders don't listen to the people now. They followed through with their plans, and maybe they'll listen to us in the future. Maybe we do have some good ideas, but they'll listen to us, guys. I promise they will.